Yay! Hi, everybody. All right, we have Julia and Geraldine. Hello. Hi. I think this is my third week in a row doing the live, so I'm proud of myself. We have a special guest here. I'm going to pick you up a little bit. Look. Look. You're on the internet. You don't know what that is. So anyway, this is Tifa. She was a foster fail. So she was dropped off at a shelter, and I shouldn't have worn black today. Anyway, she was dropped off at a shelter with her 4 kittens, and I ended up fostering them all, and 5 years later, here we are, and 3 of her kids are also still with us, right? One of them got adopted, but then the other ones just stayed with us, didn't they? So anyway, this cat really likes attention. So anyway, just stalling a little bit while I wait for people to join. Hey there. All right, so I'm gonna try to start a little bit since you're very dirty. She was walking all over the place in here and reminding me that I need to clean a little bit more. So anyway, so for this live stream this week, I've got a brief outline in front of me here. So I'm going to be talking about some charm designs that I acquired from Parker on the Porch. So they're machine embroidery. So I've got that machine over there. It's all set up. I already stitched a few to show you. I'm going to show you the baby gift set from the By Annie patterns that I was working on 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just finished the last component for that, so I'll show you that. And then I got a little shout out for you. It was a real funny story that I'm going to share with you. Wow. I lint rolled my shirt before I started here, and then I see that was a complete waste of effort. Got a couple people on here, a couple more people. So anyway, hi to all who are joining. Feel free to post in the chat. I'm using my webcam to stream, so then I can see up on the screen, and then I found out the hard way, if I use my phone to stream, that eventually the battery will just die and I won't see it coming, and all of a sudden it abruptly ends, and that's not great. So anyway, so I can see the comments that are posted on the screen. So if anyone has any questions or anything like that, or just wants to say hello, post those on there. But anyway, I usually stall for the first couple minutes just to give people a chance to jump on, and then they didn't miss a whole lot. All right. Say hi. All right. So, all right. Oh, we got a few people dropped off. That's a bummer. All right. I'm also new to doing lives, so if you're familiar with my channel, you see that most of my videos are pre-recorded and very sporadic, and I decided to do live ones because then I can post more regularly, which people obviously prefer, and then it kind of takes some of the pressure off because I don't have to edit anything afterwards, and it's just more fun. I like talking to other people who sew. So anyhow, all right, we're going to have you get down, Tifa. Yeah. All right, you say see you later? Huh? All right. What she really wants is my chair, so. Oh, hi, Sheila. This is Tifa. Say hi. She loves attention. I mentioned earlier that she's a foster fail. So she got brought into a shelter. Oh, hi, Cindy. And she had 4 kittens. So we helped her raise those in safety and relative luxury, right? And she shows her gratitude to me every day by following me very closely and sitting on me every chance that she gets. And then she occasionally tries to wash me and also my teenage daughters. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just get started with everything. So I have a very brief outline on here. So it's a little bit easier for y'all to watch. I got a couple things, machine embroidery things I'm going to show you, and then a little bit of sewing. You say thank you, Tifa? Yeah, her kids look exactly like her as well, to the point that one of them still wears a collar. They're 5 years old now. We have 3 out of 4. We got one adopted, and then the rest just never left. Anyway, one of them has a collar because she still looks too similar to her mom, so it's hard to tell them apart. Oh, you do too? Yeah, we have a lot of cats. I noticed that a lot of people who do sewing tend to have cats as well. I don't know what the connection is, maybe just because they're awesome. But yeah, she really likes to steal my chair. Even though I've provided her own chair, she did not want it. Actually, there's multiple chairs in here, all very comfortable, but no, you want Mama's chair. Okay, so anyway, let me get started. Wow, you are gonna really try to distract me, aren't you, Kitty? Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is, here, I'm gonna move the camera up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna show you a couple things. So for those of you with embroidery machines, and that includes any embroidery machine, whether it's like a little single needle, like the $300 Brother with the little 4x4 hoop, on up to whatever machine you have, you can make these. And they're, depending on how useful you agree that they are, it might be worth buying an embroidery machine just for these. Okay, so these are examples of these little charms. And this is an example of in the hoop embroidery. One is weird, I'll explain in a minute. And these are from Parker on the Porch, and I put a link to her website in the description below. I planned ahead this time. And she has all kinds of these charms. I have a lot of them. Hey, Kitty, can you move over? Yeah, I know you don't want to share. All right, but I would like to sit. Okay, so anyway, she has all these initials, and this is the mini size, and then she has a real bigger, it's probably like 3-4 inches high. So she has 2 sizes of these initial charms, and you can use scraps for these. So if you're using vinyl for any other projects, like if you're making bags or really anything, or if you have like a marine upholstery shop nearby and they have knit-backed marine vinyl, the flannel back doesn't really work for this, but you can get their scraps, and probably for free. At least I do. And yeah, super cheap and easy to do, very fast, great gift. You can also sell these like I do. I sell these in my Etsy shop. I think this littler size is $5.95 a piece. And then you just get this little ball chain. I got mine off of Amazon. It's 4 inches long. And these are fabulous. What I'm currently working on is a project. I decided to make these for all of my students. And if you're not familiar, I'm currently teaching high school Microsoft Office. So I have like 150 students. This is very ambitious. And I always like to add a little disclaimer for this sort of thing, that I definitely don't have the expectation that all teachers do this kind of stuff. I'm just doing it because I want to. I'm not trying to like one up other teachers or make anyone look bad. And this is like an above and beyond thing, and I'm doing it not because I feel any obligation, just because I really like the kids, and this is going to be my only year teaching. So, and I also have a lot of vinyl scraps. They're in this drawer unit behind me, and I want that space for sewing projects. So they all say there's no such thing as a true selfless act. So I guess this is also a good example of that, because I do want to get rid of this vinyl. But anyhow, so I'm making a whole bunch of these. And I'm going to show you these in a little more detail, like how to cut them out and everything. And I am going to stitch one out too. I just have to do some maneuvering. So anyway, so the Parker on the porch, she has all kinds of these little charms. This is a newer one, and yes, this is a maxi pad, or I know people are in other countries. I don't know what they're probably called something different there, but this is like a menstrual pad. There we go. That's probably the most recognizable term for it. So yes, and yes, this is weird, but I have a second Etsy shop. I don't talk about it much on here because I have like more controversial stuff on there, and I try to keep this channel like very inclusive. So like if you have different beliefs than me, I don't care, as long as you're not a jerk and you like sewing and crafts and stuff like that, you're welcome here. Don't care what you believe. So anyway, so in that shop, I have stuff like this, and it sells so much I cannot keep up with the demand. So the other product I have, and I wish I would have thought ahead, but it's a bunch of little felties, which I've talked about here before. Another thing that's really easy to make on a little hoop on just an entry-level embroidery machine. But it's like a little set where it's like a tampon and a pad and a uterus, a menstrual cup, and then a birth control pill pack with little smiley faces, which is, I don't know, I have a weird sense of humor. I think it's hilarious. But I cannot keep them in stock. Like after I'm done making this video, I'm gonna make a batch of uterus felties, and I sell them as magnets and then like with little bar pins in the back. And seriously, cannot keep them in stock. So anyway, so this is a newer thing, and I just added it to my shop. And then there's a couple other like related, there's like uteruses and stuff like that. I don't know, it's funny. So back to the initial one, because that's admittedly the one that's going to be of more interest to more people. So so let me kind of show you the process of how to make these, just to see how easy it is. So I think first it'd make more sense to actually stitch one out. Hey, Tifa. Tifa's actually in here today because somehow I had a wasp come into my shop. I don't know how. This is like a kind of like a 3-season, like, I don't know what it's called, like a lanai or a 3-season porch sort of thing. So, I mean, it's enclosed, but it's not insulated, and it's got a cement floor, and it's kind of like a cross between indoors and a garage. So somehow a wasp got in here. All right, so I'm going to try, oops, my knee lift just fell off. Oh, and there's a lot of thread under here. All right, I'm trying to get it so you can see this. And I think it'll be good enough. All right, so anyway, I have the machine, or the design loaded on the machine, and then this is just your standard 4x4 hoop. This particular one, this is a Brother Innovis 4000D that I got secondhand, and it's got like up to like I think it's like maybe a 7x12 hoop. Most of the time I'm just using this little one anyway because of what I like to make. So anyhow, this is a piece of tearaway stabilizer, and this is all you do. So you put the hoop on the machine and then run the first step. There are 2 steps to this whole design, and it's not even really embroidery. It's just more like kind of an applique stitch in a way. So in the hoop embroidery is kind of weird if you're not familiar with it, but once you get the hang of it, you will love it because you can do so much with it. All right. So it is already finished the first stitch. There are 346 stitches in this design total. So let me just trim off the little thread ends. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Yeah, sort of. You can see there's a letter L, and then there's a little tab. So that's all it is. And then you take some scraps of whatever vinyl you have laying around. So this is just your standard marine vinyl with a knit backing that you can get from My Punk Broidery or wherever you like to buy your vinyl. Marinevinylfabric.com is another good option. It's more basic stuff, so they don't have like the cool like novelty vinyls that other places like My Punk Broidery do. But if that's what you're into, then sometimes it's a better deal. So I have taped a scrap on the back, and I'm going to do the same thing in the front. And this is just your regular old Scotch tape. It's nothing fancy, just the stuff you can buy anywhere they sell tape. And you're just covering up this entire area with your vinyl, and then make sure you have your tape out of the way. So there you go. So I have my tape on the edge, so I'm not stitching through it. Some machines, it doesn't really affect it. Other ones, it'll mess things up, like it'll get all over your needle. So it's easier just to make sure you're not stitching over it. And then I'm just putting it back on the machine. Like seriously, you're gonna be making these for everybody. All right, running the second stitch. Another good use for these too is that you could make like little banners or whatever. Like you can spell out a word or something, or you can mark things. Like if you have multiple family members who all have different initials, or at least like maybe different favorite colors, and you have little bins, maybe like if you live in a warm or a cool climate where you got like your hats and mittens in little baskets, you could use these to label those bins. So there's a lot of uses for these. They're very handy. Or if you're really fancy and are given like a real nice gift to someone, you could use this as like a tag to embellish the gift packaging for it. I just can't say enough about this. And the design itself, I think it's only like maybe $6 or something, and you get the whole alphabet. So yeah, you really can't go wrong with these. So this is what you get. There's our letter. Looks pretty much the same on both sides, which is what you want, because when it's dangling on something, both sides are going to be visible. Here, I'm just going to turn this back again. So I think this part of my room is nicer to look at, slightly neater. I'm kind of in flux right now because I'm trying to move some things around. All right, so I've just removed the tape. Move this down a tiny bit, and then it's tear away stabilizer, so you guessed it, it tears away. So there you go. Stabilizer's gone. Take your sewing scissors. People often ask this. This is a Kai brand. It's Kai. Made in Japan. They're lovely. I got this on Amazon. I have a link below. Hold on, let me adjust my AC. I try not to have it on as much because I don't want the noise to annoy people when they're watching my videos, but I also don't want to sweat. And I live in Florida, so that's hard to avoid. But anyway, you just cut this out, and I aim for like 1/8 of an inch away from the stitching. I mean, look how quick this is. And then you just try to do the curve all in like one fell swoop, like one continuous motion, if you can. And then if you have any little thread tails, trim those off. But look at this. I mean, this was what, like maybe 5 minutes or something, and you got a personalized gift for somebody. I mean, or if you have a lot of handbags that you carry, you could make a monogram that matched every single one. So then the other component you need is a hole punch. This is from Harbor Freight. I know you can buy them online if you don't have a Harbor Freight in your area, or maybe just some type of store like that. This is called a leather punch. Thank you, Cindy. And it was like $7 or $8. There are people, I see it all the time on Facebook groups, who are like, oh, I got this crocodile thing. I guess it's a scrapbooking tool and it's like $30 or something. And they use that to punch their holes, which, I mean, that's fine if you happen to have one, but this was $8. So, I mean, it's cheap. I mean, eventually, like, this thing, you can see it's kind of fallen off, so I had to tape it on, but whatever, it still works. So yeah, you use the largest hole, and you just punch a hole in the center. Give it a little bit of a turn, make sure that it punched all the way around. Look how easy this is. And if you got a little thread that's in there, you just go and trim it off. And then you can do a number of different things. You could use ribbon or just some kind of cording to hang it, or if you're going to do like the banner idea, like I mentioned before, you know, you could use yarn, string, whatever, and just make a little knot so this doesn't slide around on your string or whatever. And then what I do, this is a 4-inch piece of ball chain. Yes, Tifa, she has opinions. I get a bunch of these on Amazon. I think it was $6 for 200 or something like that. Hi. They have this in other colors as well. This is just the cheaper color. And yeah, this is it. Can you believe that? You can't either, can you, Tifa? It's like, why isn't it a T for my name? Right? So yeah, you can see that there's other letters too. And then here's one that I'm not finished cutting out, obviously, but I did this in a scrap of cork. So it's basically any non-fraying fabric, or if you have maybe a old leather jacket that's kind of like outdated or torn or whatever, or just, you don't want anymore, but you don't want to be wasteful and throw it away. You can cut it up and make other stuff with it, and you got scraps, and you can make some of these. So it's stuff like this that is just really great, because pretty much anybody can do this. I mean, obviously you need the embroidery machine, but if you have one and maybe you're just afraid to make something with it, like, oh, I'm afraid I'll mess something up. Like, say like you bought it to embroider on t-shirts or whatever, and you're like, oh gosh, I've never embroidered anything before. I don't want to ruin a perfectly good t-shirt. Well, this is a good thing to practice with, just to get used to using the machine. Obviously, there's more to embroidering a t-shirt than just this, but just getting used to using the machine. Oh, hi, Sandra. This is a Monogram Charm. It's a machine embroidery design from Parker on the Porch. There's a link below in the description to her shop. She has tons of these different types of charms. I just figured I would talk about the monogram one because this would appeal to the most people. But yeah, I've made easily hundreds of these. I wouldn't be surprised if I've made 1,000. So you can see like some of the letters are a little bit more difficult than others, like where you have to kind of go back and fix things like this. It's hard to get this little inner part of the H. And then for letters with holes in them, like the letter P, what I do with these is, because this is kind of small, I mean, they do have a larger size, and the larger size, I do cut the center out, but for the little one, it's kind of tough. So what I just do with this is I just make sure that the thread I'm using contrasts with the vinyl, and then I just leave it like this. And then you can easily tell it's a P. So like if I use like a pastel color with white thread, it might be harder, like, what is that? And then you have to look at it real closely to see that, oh, that's a letter P. So that's what I do to get around that. And then, yeah, so this is cork. The rest are marine vinyl, any non-fraying fabric. And this is a great way to use up scraps. So if you're like me, I don't like wasting things. I don't want to throw something out if I can use it for something. So I have those drawers back there. The one on the right is just full of these vinyl scraps. So I've just been going to town. So $8 punch from Harbor Freight. Meow, yes. And then just something. So this is just a 4-inch ball chain from Amazon, but you can use ribbon, yarn, whatever you'd like. And look at this. Like start to finish, this took like 5 minutes, virtually, I mean, it's almost free, you know, relatively so. And then you've got something cool for yourself or for a gift. Yeah. So this is the coolest thing ever. And yeah. And then the Parker on the Porch, the designer, she has a Facebook group as well. I don't have time to be on it very much these days, but she's good people. So you're supporting a small business. Here's another one. This is glitter vinyl. Works the same way. We got our letter C. Sometimes the little hole wants to stick around. Just trim it away. So look at this. We got a whole bunch of stuff just in a few minutes. What I like to do is I'll stitch out a whole bunch of these, just use up a bunch of scraps, and then I'll just throw them into a little box and take them out when I'm done in here for the day, and I'll be hanging out with my husband watching TV, and I'll just cut these all out there. So Sandra, this is actually just a regular old stitch from the embroidery machine does it for you. So if you're new to In the Hoop embroidery, you just put this in the machine and it does everything for you, and then you cut it out afterwards. So it's kind of the opposite of sewing, where the sewing pattern, you cut out the exact shape you need and then sew everything, like, and you're guiding the machine, obviously. With In the Hoop embroidery, you're just sticking like your standard scrap of vinyl from another project, you know, putting it on the stabilizer, and it stitches for you, and then you cut it out afterwards. So yeah. So just in a few minutes before the live started, I made a whole bunch of letter L's, and these, you can see the shape of this. This was just a sample. In fact, all these were all samples from when you order from My Punk Broidery. There's almost always a little sample that they give you of some specialty vinyl. What is this, like a 4-inch square? So it works really great for smaller letters. So I made a bunch of L's. So these were free. So yeah, real simple. I'll go through one more time on the stabilizer. This is just cutaway, or not cutaway, this is tearaway stabilizer. It is not at all fancy. And I just use some regular Scotch tape to tape some vinyl scraps over the placement stitch that it gives you. That's part of the design. And the machine pretty much does the rest. So this is great. So there's another one, and then you just trim your threads, cut it out, and look at that. Simple, simple. All right, so I am going to move along from that one. Actually, I'm going to show you one more embroidery thing to try to make this cohesive. I actually made these like a year ago. Let me show you. So this is actually another Parker on the Porch design. I'm not affiliated with her. I just really like her stuff, and she's a cool person from what I've seen on Facebook and small business, and anyway. So this is, I'm sure a lot of you have seen these little key fobs. You can make these on a sewing machine just out of fabric with interfacing, which I've done a lot too. That's another really good cheap project to use up scraps. But these are obviously made from vinyl, and these are an embroidery design from Parker on the Porch. I'm trying to think. Oh, I already put them away. But she has some that have a design embroidered on them, like little chevrons or little star patterns and stuff like that. And then some that come blank like this. And the advantage to doing this on an embroidery machine is that the stitching is perfect. And then obviously you can see hopefully, is that backwards for you all? Because I'm looking at it and it's backwards. So anyway, what I did was I use my embroidery software. I use Brilliance Essentials. I've had no issues with it. It's good. And what you do, it's called merging. So if you're not familiar, you take this embroidered design and you would open it up in Embrilliance, and then you use just whatever font you like, type it out, and then just click and drag it right over onto this embroidered design here, and then adjust the stitch order so that you have the placement stitch, and then you do the embroidery, and then you add the backing. So you can see this is 2 layers. Okay, good, it's not backwards. And then the last step is this outline that you see here. So then you do it that way. So then on the inside, you don't have to see the back of this design and all of like it just looks nicer. So anyway, that's something you can do with Embrilliance Essentials. If you're not familiar with that, they have a ton of videos on YouTube. So anyway, so I did a couple of these, and at the time I made these like a year ago, and that's when I was still had my Etsy shop full time, and I was going to sell these, but then I ended up taking a teaching job. So anyway, I at least got around to taking photos of these, so if I do decide to sell them in the future, I have them, because these were samples, and you can see that I made a bunch of them. And when I make samples, of course, I try to make them useful. So these are this is my mom, my sister, and her 3 kids' names. So I took photos of these so then I can give them to them, so they're not sitting in here collecting dust. And then if I do decide to sell them, then I have the photos. So the needle for this, oh gosh, what was it? I probably used like maybe a size 16. I think it was a really long time ago. Sometimes I use a 14 because I'm too lazy to change, because that's the one I use most frequently. But marine vinyl, yeah, it should be a 16. Yeah. Oh, and then this key fob hardware, if this is something that's unfamiliar to you, you can get this all over the place. Where I get mine is a shop called Everything Ribbons, all one word, and it's on Etsy. And I like them a lot. They have really good service. Plus, they're located in Florida, so then I receive my order more quickly. They also sell webbing, which is another thing that people will either embroider directly on or sew ribbon on top of. They sell that too. I actually have some on its way to me. But yeah, they sell these in a bunch of colors. Like you can get like rose gold, regular gold, black, gunmetal, antique brass, and like the rainbow color. So this is another really good gift idea too, and it's relatively cheap. They do sell us special pliers, which I do have, that it's, wait, I'm gonna go get it. That's gonna be easier. It's just right over here. Here we go. All right. This is a special pliers. You don't technically need this. And personally, like if you're on a budget like I am and you're not sure you're going to want to be making a lot of these, maybe don't buy this right away. But it has these special tips on it so the metal does not mar this metal. So it's like a vinyl-ish plastic stuff. So what you can do is if you're totally new to this, and because you can buy like a 5-pack of these just to see how you like it, you can use like a needle nose pliers and then just put like maybe some tape or just a piece of scrap fabric over the pliers when you squeeze this. And then you just have to be a little more careful because you have to make sure you squeeze it evenly all the way across, whereas you can tell this is designed to get the whole thing at once. See? And then you just squeeze it. So, and this is only like, I think like maybe $13.50. I think I got this on Amazon. But, you know, if you're not sure you're going to use it more than once, you can maybe just use the pliers you already have and then see how you like it. All right. So I got that. Let me put this out of the way. Oh, let me show you the baby gift set I finally finished. There we go. Okay. So, oh, I should probably get the other pattern I used too. Okay. So if you haven't joined my previous lives, These bags I'm a huge fan of by Annie patterns. So here's the two that I use to make the things that I'm about to show you. Again, I'm not affiliated with her in any way. I'm just a huge fan. Maybe someday I will be affiliated with her because I love her patterns. She just does everything in a very specific, consistent way across the board. So once you learn all the basic techniques, all the other projects are very easy and it's very familiar to you. So anyway, so I have a cousin who is having her first baby. So of course I want to make some stuff for her. So if you hear meowing, you're just tuning in. My cat Tifa is our very special guest today, and she's very mouthy. So anyway, the first thing I'll show you is this changing station. I just finished the other, the changing pad of it today. So, and I'm not actually sure that I folded it right because it looks kind of funky. But that's definitely user error. So anyway, let me open it up first. So it's designed to be if you've had a child before of this age or just cared for one, you just need a diaper change. You don't want to take this big bag of all your other stuff. You just need the diaper and the wipes and everything. This is what this is for. So this would have been nice when I had a baby, but anyway. So this opens up, and then the changing pad, this is the part that I just finished, is attached with Velcro. So this is nice. So you can just leave this attached if you needed to, and then this is a PUL fabric. It's like a waterproof. They use it for diaper covers or this sort of thing, or just anything that you need to be waterproof, and it's still kind of fabric-like, and it has a glossy side on the other side. So anyway, and it's kind of like a knit, but anyway, so this is the changing pad, and then it Velcros off. So then, if you didn't want it to be attached while you're changing your baby, and then obviously you're probably gonna have to wash this pretty often. And then here is the other side of it. This is just regular quilting cotton, and it's from the same line of fabric that I made all the other stuff with. And then I added this little tag. I try to add these when I remember. It says may contain cat hair, and this is from mormino.com. I forgot to link her down below. She has a YouTube channel as well. She does a lot of lives on hers. But it's mormino.com, but it's spelled phonetically. So it's the word more, and then the word me, and then the word no, like K-N-O-W, all one word.com. So it's like a phonetic spelling of her last name. Anyway, so here is the pad. And then what you can't see in here is that this is they call it Frankenfoam. There's the by Annie Soft and Stable. It's a foam interfacing that's in here. And what I did, because I ran out of it because I use it so much, and I had a lot of scraps. So I just laid them all out on my table and kind of trimmed them. And I'll have to post a picture on my Instagram of what it looks like. My Instagram is Nikki's Crafty Life. It's just all one word and no apostrophe. Oh, hey, Shayna, good to see you. So anyway, I use Frankenfoam for this. So if you feel it, you can feel all these funny little you can feel where I zigzagged all these random foam shapes together. But it's for changing diapers, and it doesn't affect the quality of the product, and my cousin and her baby will not care. So anyway, and then it's got the binding around the outside, which at first I thought was really scary, but I've used binding so much now, it's really not a big deal. So if you're scared, don't worry. But then it's got these seams, which encourages the pad to fold up. So you have to fold it a certain way, like this. And then it Velcros in. But before I do that, let me show you the inside. This piece, I'm pretty sure I made at least part of this on the video a couple weeks ago. Oh, hi there. Hi from Libya. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to try, and I just apologize. But hi, I do see you, and I'm glad you're joining us. So yeah, this is some mesh pockets, and the by Annie, she sells the mesh too. She sells the full over elastic zippers as well, but I buy them elsewhere cheaper. But anyway, so you put like a diaper or two here, and then like your little pack of wipes or whatever you use. So yeah, isn't that nice? So you got the little zippers. I don't know if these were supposed to be on opposite ends. They probably weren't, and I just messed up, but I don't care. I think it still looks good. And then on the outside is another zipper. So that's nice. So that's really cool. It's always good to have pockets. And yeah, look at this. And then on the outside, it's got a hand. There's webbing inside of here too. So a lot of patterns, like for straps like this, they'll have you use some fusible woven interfacing. For by Annie, instead of that, she has you sew the fabric in a tube and then thread this this webbing into it. Uh-oh, it says my connection is unstable, so shoot. Hopefully you guys can still see me or whatever. And then this also extended into a carrying strap. So you can see that. So that's good. So you could either clip this onto something. Ooh, I'm going to have to oil that. I want it to stick. Or you can clip it on and then it becomes a handle. So, oh shoot, I'm sorry. I don't know why my connection is doing that because we have like, as my husband says, baller internet because he really likes technology. But anyway, so hopefully you didn't lose too much of what I was saying. And then this is the little thing. Okay, good. Thank you, Sheena. So anyhow, then I'm trying to remember how you put this on here. I think it was the other way. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, then you put it inside there, and it's got the Velcro, and then you got the Velcro here too. And there you go. So I think this is really cool. It's got the two handles, and then I like it because, I mean, technically it is like designed to be a kid's fabric, but it doesn't look like too kiddish. So I think that's cool. So it's a little more modern. I don't know. I like that sort of thing. I'm thinking like maybe I'm kind of second guessing using such a light color on the changing pad, but oh well, we live and we learn. So that's the changing station. And again, this is the pattern. And you can get this either directly from her website, or what she often encourages is if you have a local quilt shop or a small shop on, like, let's say Etsy, to get it from them, because she really likes supporting local quilt shops, because unfortunately the overhead for those is high and they tend to go out of business more often than they should. So if you have a local quilt shop, most of them carry her patterns because they all use quilting fabrics to make them. So it's like it makes sense. So I know for the local quilt shop that I went to while it was still open to the public, this is prior to COVID, I would just, they carried the patterns, but not all of them. So I would just say, hey, would you be able to order the backseat babysitter or travel essentials or whatever? And they were fine with it. So I would assume that most quilt shops would be happy to order it too. Otherwise you can get it online. And then this is the other one. It's also by Annie. It's just, it's an older pattern. So the design is a little different, but it's still a by Annie pattern. And you can see it's baby travel accessories. And there's 3 things on here. It looks like 4. This is the same item right here. It's just folded up. And this is like a play mat. And I have this cut out. I just haven't made it yet because I need more supplies. So I'm probably just going to mail this off before finishing that, because I don't know if I'm going to have time. So maybe they'll get it for the kid's first birthday instead. So anyway, So these things I do remember I made a couple weeks ago, but if you didn't tune in then, this is a bottle carrier and this is a passy pod. So for a pacifier. So what I did was I looked on my cousin's registry, and they had asked for like bottle and pacifier, like bottles and pacifiers. So I knew they were using these because I know not everyone, like some people like want to breastfeed or whatever, and then some people don't want to use pacifiers. So, obviously first, before I went through all this trouble, make sure those are things that they would be using. And I made the cases. So this one, I had to reorder these clips. So this wasn't completely done before, but you can see it's either like a little wrist strap, or you can hang it on like maybe your stroller handle, or you can clip it to another bag. But this thing is great because look, you can see it opens up all the way, and then it's got binding finishing all the raw edges, and then it's got these little stretchy pockets, so you can put pacifiers in there. And then a couple weeks ago when I was making this, some people had some other, I think Shana, you had some suggestions for other uses for this. So I think maybe like earbuds or like AirPods was a suggestion. I'm probably gonna make another one of these just for something else, because you can imagine like this could be very useful. Like if you ride a bike, maybe, because I'm surprised. My memory isn't that great, but sometimes I remember stuff. This might be big enough for, here, let me check. I have this PayPal debit card that I never use. Let me see if you can fit an ID in here. Okay. So just barely, but look, this would be good. Like if you're going, like if you're one of those people who's ambitious and like goes running, obviously I'm not, but, or like if you're riding a bike or whatever, and you don't, you could put this on around the handlebars maybe. So you could fit your ID or credit card, whatever, and then other small items. So this could be useful for not just, just pacifiers, and then you got the little pockets in there, so it's super useful. Or you could leave them off if you really didn't want to use them for that. And then the other thing is, this is the bottle carrier. So I guess the foam interfacing gives it some insulation, but I don't know, you probably want to put an ice pack in there anyway. I don't know. I haven't had a baby in a long time, thankfully, so not my thing. Anyway, you can see it's a big old cylinder. This was easier than you might think to make. I was a little intimidated, but I always try to remember perspective, and that this is a gift. So no one's expecting the gift to be perfect, and if they are, that's not someone you should be giving gifts to anyway. But my cousin is cool, and I know she will appreciate my efforts, and she probably won't even see anything wrong with it in the first place, and it came out pretty well anyway. So it's got the same carrying strap as the Passy Pod, and it's got the same type of zipper. This is a handbag zipper, so it's a little wider than ones that if you're doing dressmaking or whatever, than you're used to. But so it's all got these are all from the same line of fabrics. I got like 4 different prints and just kind of mixed and matched them up. So there's her gift. And she lives in St. Paul, Minnesota. So I'm in Florida, so plus there's COVID, so I definitely won't be in person for her shower, but we're doing I guess it's like on Zoom. I think it's a thing. So where like we all get together on Zoom and we mail the gifts in advance, and she opens them on the video. So it's next best thing, which I don't know. I think they should make that a thing, just even after COVID, for those of us who live too far away. Because I mean, I'm not going to be able to fly in just for a baby shower. I'm not. I don't got it like that. Hey, and if I knew the name of her child, I could put one of these on there. But I think they're I know the baby's a boy, so I don't know the gen or the name. I think they're making it a surprise. So anyway, um, and then what's the other thing? Oh, all right. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about was um, sorry, my cat is. Let me move this. This cat, she just pretty much wants all of the attention, like all of it, not just all my attention, or not just attention whenever I can, just all of the attention. So like if she understood what a live stream was, she'd be like, Mom, you need to put me on there. I need all the attention. So anyway, um, so there you go. Say hi. Um, sorry. Okay, so another thing, and I put links below. A couple years back, there's this thing called an embroidery machine riser, and I had seen one. And my husband does woodworking just as an occasional hobby. He's a teacher, so it's it's not something he does all the time. But I showed it to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll make you one of those." He's very nice and supportive. So he did, and then I posted it and probably in some embroidery Facebook group that I'm no longer in, and it went wild. It was like practically viral. Like I think one day he sold like 17 of them. So what he did was like I posted a picture of it and people were like, "Oh, I want one." Like, okay, well I already had an Etsy shop, so we took some photos and everything, and he put a listing, and we sold like so many of them. And then now he's got his own shop. I'd rather just have everything be separate. So so he's been selling these embroidery risers on there for quite a while, and he had an order for one where it turns out she's a YouTuber also, and I put a link to her channel. Oh, hi Carlos. I put a link to her channel in the description. It's Boricua Sewing and Crafts. Again, it's linked down below, and I think I pronounced that correctly. I believe I know it's a Spanish word, but I think it's specific to Puerto Rico. My husband is Puerto Rican, so before I started live stream, I'm like, how do you pronounce that? And he said it perfectly, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the best I can. So it's Boricua, but he said it better. I don't know. Anyway, so I wasn't familiar with her channel before, and it turns out she actually knew me from my Redline videos. So she did a live unboxing last night. She has a live that she does every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern called Embroidery Happy Hour, which so you don't laugh at my pronunciation, Carlos, because I'm sure I didn't do it very well, but I did. That's the best I can do. But anyway, so we watched it together. And it was so cool because she opened up the riser live on camera and showed it and did the unboxing and stuff. It was cool, and she loved her riser and everything. It was very nice because he makes it out of like this thick solid wood, so like it's like furniture. I have one in here. It's just I don't have the machine that it was designed for anymore, so it doesn't look right, and it's way over there. But basically, I put a link to my husband's shop in the description because, shameless plug, why not? So you can see what it looks like there. But what it does is, let me move this machine forward. It's mostly for embroidery machines, but it just makes it makes your machine a little taller, and there's an opening along this side. So it's if you sew, it's similar to like a free arm where some machines you can take part of the machine off. Here, let me move this. Yeah, that's not. Sorry. Someday I will get the hang of this. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so usually this machine, of course, doesn't have it, but if you have like a regular sewing machine, a lot of them have where this part you can just like slide off, or there's just a little portion of the front that you can take off. And if it's if you need to sew something that's like kind of a tubular shape, and you need to get it over this part of the machine. So like a sleeve or like a pant leg or something like that. Well, for embroidery, a lot of times, if you're doing traditional embroidery where you're embellishing an existing item, like a t-shirt or a tote bag or like a little baby onesie, you have to really be careful when you put it on the machine, because you don't want to accidentally have the back of that item get caught in the embroidery. So, so what it does is it creates kind of like a free arm situation under your embroidery machine, so that you can put the back of the bag or the garment underneath the machine, so you know it's not getting caught in place. And then you can embroider the front of it, and it's unimpeded and everything, as long as the item is big enough that it can still freely move. Like the embroidery arm is not getting constricted or whatever. But yeah, it's a really useful thing. And then he has a little drawer on it, so you can keep your needles and your little snips and stuff like that. Yeah, and so it's really cool. She liked it a lot, and I really liked watching her too. I went ahead and subscribed because I just she has this really fun, lively personality, and she's got a great sense of humor, and just real easygoing, like approachable kind of person. Just kind of person that I like a lot. So I was actually in the middle of watching one of her videos where she's talking about multi-needle embroidery machines before we went live. So I got another tab up here on pause. I'm going to finish it later. But she had kind of mentioned some various multi-needle embroidery machine companies that have business practices that she's not a big fan of, and frankly, neither am I. So she mentioned, like, because I have, if you're familiar with my channel, you see all the Redline videos of that horrible machine that I sold that I was just not happy with at all. And then she mentioned another channel. I mentioned him last week. The channel name is called Never Deny Me. And it's a man who does machine embroidery, and he had been approached by Racoma Machines to do some sort of brand deal where, like, they lend him a machine and he has to, like, do certain types of videos. And he read the fine print and shared it on his video, and it was just, yeah, because I've seen a couple other YouTubers that suddenly have a Racoma machine. They're like, oh yeah, I have this for a few months, and here you go. And they actually approached me a couple years ago too, and I was just like, this is no thanks. I didn't even get to the point where they sent me anything. I'm just like, nah, I already have a machine. Why would I want another one? And it just didn't feel right to me. And sure enough, that was a good decision. So anyway, she did a video about that too. 'Cause she does, it looks like mostly embroidery. I haven't checked out many of her videos yet, but it looks like she does mostly machine embroidery. But yeah, I recommend her channel too. It's linked down below. And then I think that's all I had on my agenda that I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's funny. Someone sent me a message that says, go back to the kitchen. Oh, man. I was never in the kitchen in the first place, you idiot. I'm hiding your dumb comments. Oh, my God. I love that. Oh, man. I don't know if any of you else have YouTube channels. If you do, let me know so I can subscribe to them. But I'm sure this is not new to any of you all. Like, if you're on any sort of social media or anything like that where you get the trolls and they think they're upsetting you. I just think it's so funny. Like, really? Like, go back to the kitchen. Oh, my God. That's awesome. Yeah, it is rude. Yeah, it definitely is rude. But my chosen reaction is just hilarity, because I keep mentioning on here before, because that's I made the video about Joanne fabrics and how they suck, and like half the comments are just variations of that, and almost all of them, even if they're held for review, I'll just approve them anyway, just because I'm like, hey, it says more about you than it does about me. Like, it's all stuff like, like, oh, you're a liberal hack and you don't know what you're talking about. And one of them was like it was something about my appearance. I'm like, really? I don't give a crap. Does it look like I care? Like, I have no makeup on, I have no jewelry on, you know, I don't care. I really don't. And that's not why, like, the people who are really interested in my channel, y'all are not tuning in because of what I look like. Like, I do like I comb my hair and I shower and I wear clean clothes because that, that's just basic, like, you know, politeness or whatever, or like courtesy. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like, I'm sure like half the reason why that video has gotten like way more views than anything else on my channel, and it's because it increases engagement, so my video gets suggested to more YouTube users. So, thanks. Like, seriously, I think I made like $100 on that video last time I checked. Seriously, I'm like, thank you, because you're enabling me to buy more sewing supplies so I can keep making videos and keep myself sane. Yeah, so exactly. Like, I once in a while I'll wear lipstick if I'm feeling fancy, or I'll try to remember to put on some earrings. And it's just usually because, you know, the earrings I have are from small businesses and I'll try to give them a shout out, whatever. But yeah, I do not care. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about the people who do like do their hair, makeup, and wear a special outfit and put on jewelry. Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, you all look very nice who do that and everything. And I'm not saying that you're any more or less of anything for doing that. That's cool, you know. You know, but it's just not for me. Uh, but yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so funny though. Go back to the kitchen. Oh my god, if you're still watching, you're gonna be outraged to know that my husband does all the cooking in our household. All of it. I don't cook anything, like, ever. Like, maybe once every 5 years I'll cook something. And like, I think a decade ago I might have baked something. I do nothing in there at all. Like, nothing. I've made some napkins and stuff. Like, I've sewn things for the kitchen. He does it all. So if you're still watching, be so angry. Thanks for tuning in. So moving on, because I'm sure they got the attention that they wanted. So for today, oh, hey, Shayna. I just had to approve your comment. Thank you. Yeah, so Shayna's got a channel too. I'm going to subscribe to that after the video, so everyone check that out. It's nice to have sewing buddies. So anyway, so later on today, I'm going to be working on another By Any pattern. Seriously, it seems like I'm sponsored. I'm not. I just, like, I love her patterns, and it's just, I don't know. That and wallets lately, I just can't get enough of. I'm going to be making her pattern called Pocket Packers. Tifa, can you get up, honey? So I can show the nice people the pattern? Yeah? Okay. She's in complete disapproval. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Say hi. Here, you can sit in my chair. All right. I'm going to very briefly walk over here. Ah, crap. Dropping everything. Here we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I try to plan ahead and I inevitably forget something that's off camera pretty much every time I do this. All right, and I dropped another zipper. All right. Okay, so this is, do I even have the pattern over here? Oh, of course not. Okay, well, the pattern is called Pocket Packers. Let me cover up the measurements on this little tag. She gives you these little things where you can make a copy of it, and then you can use it to label all your pieces, so you know what's what. But yeah, so this is the main component of it. Here's the back. So it's more of this Art Theory by Allison Glass fabric that I used to make the Ultimate Travel Bag. So my intent is to use this as a, like a travel bag for toiletries to go with the main bag. I have a travel bag, but it's like this really big thing. And as you can see, I don't need a lot of toiletry space. Like it's just basic hygiene items that I use when I travel. So I'm not like bringing like a big train case full of makeup. So anyway, I wanted to make something that was a little pared down, so I wasn't carrying this big bag that had hardly anything in it. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to be working on today because I finally got all the parts for it. So you can see it uses clear vinyl for the pockets, and then it's got the labels for the pieces, which I'm purposely covering because it has the dimensions on it. And her patterns, for the most part, just give measurements. There's no like templates or pattern pieces for them, which I know some people don't like for whatever reason. Like they feel like they're not getting their money's worth, but totally disagree. And it's faster and easier anyway to use like a rotary cutter and a ruler to cut out your pattern pieces. So if you are if you don't like that sort of thing, I'd encourage you to reconsider. I think you will be happy with it. And then I've got, these are just the zippers that match that I had on hand. So I got a couple of those that I'm using. And then I think these are these are pocket tops. Okay. So I have all of that, and then had to get another pack of her mesh fabric. It's delightful. And then, then I'm all set to go. So that's what I'm going to make today. So what it is on one side, it's going to have a big mesh pocket. And then on the front side, it's going to have these clear vinyl pockets on it. So on both sides, then it's going to have a handle at the top. Where's the handle? I don't know. So yeah, it's going to have a handle at the top. So then you can hang that like maybe on like the back of a door or something. And also it's good for transporting too. And then once I look at it, if it can be easily folded, I might maybe put like a loop at the bottom and then a button at the top where I can like kind of fold it in half. So I don't know, I'm going to take a look at it and see how it goes. But yeah, I had to order more of this mesh because it's great. Yeah, I think that's everything. I don't see any questions on there. Does anyone have any that they just haven't posted yet? I think I've got all the links posted this time in the description below. And I made sure they all work this time. And then, oh yeah, here's some zipper pulls I made in advance too. She has those as part of every one of her patterns as well. But yeah, that was everything I wanted to tell you guys about this week. So, all right, move around again. Okay, so that's everything. All right, so yeah, if you have an embroidery machine of any kind, highly recommend the charms from Parker on the Porch. Let me show you those again. So these are great for your vinyl and cork scraps. And if you live near a shop that does like boat upholstery and has scraps of marine vinyl with a knit back, I thought I had a piece of it. Anyway, yeah, here we go. This is what I mean. This is knit backed vinyl. There's flannel backed marine vinyl. That does not really work for much of anything for embroidery in my experience. So if they have knit back marine vinyl scraps, at least the one in town over here, they'll just give these to you. Like they just gave me like a whole trash bag or a box of them for free because they were gonna throw them out anyway. So, but yeah, these are great. These are very cheap as long as once you have the embroidery machine, if you have scraps of vinyl. Once you buy the design, which I think is only like $6-ish, it's practically free at that point. Very quick and easy. Yeah, so these you can put these on on bags for you can use it for a zipper pull or just a decoration. You can label things with them. They're awesome gifts, or even if you're giving someone like a really fancy gift, you can put this on it to like embellish the gift. You can make banners with these. Yeah, cannot recommend this enough. If you have an embroidery machine, there's a link below to park her on the porch. She's got all kinds of other types of charms too, like little cute ones, not just the monograms. And she has a bigger size as well. Oh yeah, for car keys. Yeah, I just can't say enough. And again, I'm not affiliated with her. I don't make any sort of money. If you buy these and make them, I just think you'll like them. So that's the only reason I'm sharing, because it's awesome. You will love these. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the By Annie patterns, the baby gift set. I haven't met a By Annie pattern that I did not like, and her mesh is great too. He has patterns that, yeah, I love them. I love By Annie. I mean, if she ever did like want to do a collab, I would totally do it. But at this point, not getting paid. This mesh is really sturdy. So I know there's a lot of us who need extra mesh bags for laundry. Like, because we're washing masks that have elastic, and you don't want that getting caught up in other stuff, other laundry or parts of your washer. So if you find yourself needing some extra mesh bags, she has a pattern, or if you want to just DIY, whatever, this is good for that too. You just need a zipper and a little bit of bias binding and some mesh. It's good for that too. So highly recommend. And they, let me try it again. Boricua? I think, yeah, Boricua Sewing and Crafts. The link is down below. Her name's Jeanette. She's lovely. And then she just did an unboxing for the riser that my husband built for her last night. So, and I just happened to like her channel. I mean, if her channel sucked, I probably still would have like given a shout out. But no, I liked her video on her. She's just fun. I like her. Like I wish there were meds that made me as joyful and happy as she is. Wow, she's great. I think that's everything. Oh, Harbor Freight hole punch. Don't overspend. $8. I'm going to be doing a video. I think I mentioned this before on the pink tax issue, because I find that all the time in the sewing industry, where they'll sell something that is specifically for people who sew or quilt or whatever, and there's an item that is just as good that is marketed to like hardware store customers or whatever, that's way cheaper. So this is a good example right here. This is a good example. This is also from Harbor Freight. This was actually free with a coupon because my husband's on their mailing list, but I think it's $3 or $4 if you actually pay for it. I took a screenshot. It's on my other computer. They sell these 2 quilters as a pincushion for like $10 to $15. It's the same thing. Yeah, like seriously. It doesn't look any different. I mean, I can't see how it could be any different. A magnet's a magnet, and metal is metal. Seriously. Unbelievable. There are so many instances of that. Harbor Freight calls it a parts holder because they're selling it to people who generally use this. Like if you're removing screws from something and you don't want to lose them, you put them on here. And then I think for sewing, they call it like a magnetic pincushion, I think. But yeah, but who cares? Just get the parts holder. It's the same thing for a fraction of the price. And it works very well. You can see the only thing that fell off was a little piece of lint that was on there. A magnet's a magnet, metal's metal, seriously. And it doesn't look any different. I can't believe that. The only exception I'll make is if like maybe the sewing version is prettier and I'm willing to spend the money for it to be prettier, or maybe it's like a small business. there's this product called Sew Tights where it's just like 2 magnets. So if you're working with something that where you can't pin it and you can't, and it's too like so you're maybe putting a pocket on the center of something vinyl, so you can't pin vinyl and it's too far from the edge, so you can't use a Wonder Clip, so you could use a magnet. And there's a product called Sew Tights, and it's 2 magnets. There is a product that someone mentioned on Amazon. It's for like name badges if you don't want to pin into your clothing. That it's the same thing. However, I'm probably going to get the Sew Tights because there was a Tula Pink video I watched where she mentioned that it's a small business that makes the Sew Tights and that they're really great people. So that might sway me to spend the extra money to support the small business and the nice people. So that's fine, but I'm not going to judge anybody if they want to find a cheaper version. And for some of us, it's not an option. Like, we have a tight budget. So, from Amazon, get your rotary blades. Yeah, I get rotary blades on there too. But yeah, there's just so many things that I have found where they're more than happy to sell you something because it's made for crafters. Like E6000 glue. I mean, I'm going to check on this again because it was a couple years ago that I last looked, and I want to make sure I'm giving you correct information. But I was shopping with my daughter a few years back, and they had E6000 in the craft aisle because it is something you can use for crafts, but it's also used for like DIY other things. So I went over to the hardware section, same product, a couple bucks cheaper. I'm like, you're kidding me. It's the same product. Oh, it just burns me. I get so angry. So like, and I don't like to be alarmist, but they call it a pink tax because a lot of times it's more women buying these products than men, and you're charging them more. So, but I mean, despite even no matter what, if you don't agree, if you don't agree with me that that's the reason they're doing it, doesn't matter. If you want to pay less, there's just a couple things to start out with. Also, of course, it's off camera. Darn it. The little parts drawers that people use to store small notions like bag hardware or little buttons or snaps, those are cheaper at hardware stores because you can get them at a craft store and they cost more. It's the same thing. So I got mine at Harbor Freight. So a lot of times, like if you're looking in like a craft store or a sewing shop or whatever, and you see a product, kind of wait a second, like, okay, well, I have one of these in my garage for all of our screws and bolts. I wonder if it's cheaper. It probably is. So, and yeah, they do have them in pretty colors, but they make spray paint for plastic. So if you really wanted to, if you don't like the boring black one, you can spray paint it any color you want. So that's the other thing too. And you're still saving money, even if you're buying the paint. It's crazy. All right. I kind of went off on a tangent here. I think that, let me just do one more once around because I don't want to like drag out at the end because then like it's kind of tedious and boring to watch. Yeah, I think that's about everything. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video for now. So thank you so much for watching. It's really nice. I really enjoy this. I'm just gonna keep doing these every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the foreseeable future. And then in the community tab in YouTube, I've been posting in there too. So if you ever have like a topic you'd like me to cover, you can always put that in there. And then if maybe like if something comes up and I can't do the live, I'll put that in there too. But yeah, thank you. So Sandra, Shayna, Cindy, thank you, all of you. And thank you to all of you, even if you didn't comment, that's okay too. I appreciate you as well for watching. And I will see you next week. Bye.